and welcome to tonight's tutorial. I am Pam Wrigley and I'm a bridal hairstylist. If you have any questions as we go through tonight's tutorial, please just pop your questions into the chat box and I will do my best to answer them and to get back to you straight away. You can also send me an email or put little comments in the YouTube box if you don't get a chance to ask me the question tonight. Or as I say, you can email me on info@createbeautifulhair.co.uk. Anyway, let's get started. Tonight's hairstyle is a beautiful kind of low bun that I created on one of my brides, Ella. Actually, she got married on Sunday. And it's a lovely style that actually the hair prep is fairly quick. You could actually do this for a bride or for a bridesmaid. Turn her around a little bit. So what you can see, I've already done a little bit of prep. Basically, she's got a bit of mousse in the hair and the hair's been blow dried. And then I've curled the hair using my 25mm tong. And I wanted a really strong curl. So you could either use a setting lotion, but tonight I used the Infinium hairspray, which is a stronghold hairspray. It's a L'Oreal hairspray, and it's really fabulous when it comes to creating a very strong curl in the hair, which is what we need for this style. And I used quite big chunks. You know, she's not got not lots of different little curls. It's all kind of quite big chunky curls. And I'm just going to pull my fingers just through those curls just to soften them a little bit. I actually don't want to pull, I don't want to separate the curls and get lots of little curls, certainly not at the bottom here, and you'll see why in a minute. So what I'm going to do here on top is I will separate it here because what I want to get is some nice kind of root lift and height on the crown. And I might do the sides as well. Just get everything all nice and soft and relaxed. And you can see I've got a really strong curl in the hair. You can see how that bounced back up then. Now, if you have any questions, as I said, please just pop them in the chat box. We also do have an online bridal hair course. So whether you are a subscriber from YouTube and you have a question about tonight's hairstyle, or maybe you are one of my fabulous online bridal hair students, and maybe you have a question about the online bridal hair course that you're sitting with us online, I'm here to help. So if you're finding it a little bit difficult, I know sometimes it's not necessarily easy to motivate yourself when you're working from home and you're working on your own creating bridal hairstyles, but that's where I am here to help. So any questions, please just let me know. So let's, first of all, before I decide what I'm going to do this front section, I might give her a side part. I'll think about that. A centre part, sorry, I should say. I'll think about that. I'm just going to create a little bit of height here, trying not to lose these lovely curls that we've got here. Now, my lady that I did, and you'll see her in the thumbnail, the lady that I did this particular style on, her hair was quite a bit longer. So you can create your kind of little textured look here. So I was able to create a much kind of bigger bun, but hopefully you'll see how this style is really kind of versatile and it works with both long and short hair. So take your time at this stage here and create your kind of texture on the crown. And bring the hair together. That's it. And then you can secure that with a bobby pin. Now, usually we do these tutorials a little bit later at 7 p.m, but tonight we're doing a little bit earlier because I have a graduation dinner to go to tonight So that's why we're a little bit earlier than we usually are. But we've got but I'm here. I don't want to miss doing our lovely Wednesday weekly tutorial. So I'm using a little bit of a structure cream here just to make sure everything is smooth and gorgeous. And then you can choose what you want to do with the hair at the sides, whether you want to get a little bit more height here, which we could do, might be nice. I think if we do, we might need to bring a little bit of this back as well. So this height kind of, you don't need to kind of stop abruptly here. We have to make sure, this is a question I think one of our students the other week was asking me about. She was asking about having enough hair on the crown to create a nice kind of full enough bit of height here. If you feel like you're running out of hair here on the crown, it might be because you need to work with a little bit more hair rather than just strictly speaking the hair on the crown section. So I brought this back, making it a little bit fuller, making sure you're happy with it as you go along, particularly making sure that your sections are smooth, that they're smooth and not, you don't have lots of flyaways everywhere. So we still have our curl at the bottom here. And I have created a really strong curl. Actually, I think I was going to pop another bobby pin in there, but I think it's secure enough. Let's do our side section. So you can decide, you might decide where you want your hair to part. And I'm going to go for a slightly off-center, soft part. So nothing too kind of, I don't need to create it with a comb. But you could do, if your lady wanted a very definite parting. And here you can decide which little bits of hair you want down. Now, I would say one thing for sure is that when you create these little bits of sections of hair that are down, because the curl won't probably be, it probably won't be look exactly how you want it to look. So you will probably need to come back with these sections that have already been curled and recurl with your tongs or straighteners once you finish the style, just so that you can get, you make sure that you're happy with the way these little soft bits at the side look. So loosen that in a lovely little twist. Actually, I might bring that a little bit lower. I'm just going to do one big twist here. That's a bit better. But you could do, two if you wanted to. I find that when you do these twists, they're almost better to be a little bit chunkier, because then it looks a bit more piecey rather than if there are lots of small twists coming back. Sometimes I think you lose the detail in the hair. That's it, because there's so many little pieces in the hair that it kind of loses a little bit of the definition. Especially, it's particularly important if your client has hair that's all one colour, because it can be harder to see the little twists and turns in the hair. So let's just maybe actually I think I'll bring that bit back. Do another twist here. You could have brought it all back in one. You could do a little braid if you wanted to here. I'm going fairly quickly, but take your time. And it's always important as well when you're working with a bride, make sure that you've got your timings correct. Because, doing bridal hairstyling is actually really stress-free, providing you have the time to create your styles. The time for the hair prep. Let me pop over this side. Make sure you've allowed yourself plenty of time for hair prep and time for styling, with a little bit of kind of extra time in there. Let's do the same thing on this side, I think, with a little bit of extra time in there factored in for, you know, your client's flowers might arrive, or, you know, she gets a Zoom call from someone. She has to, you know, she might have family all over the world that can't make her wedding. So it's always good to allow a little bit of extra time. Be generous with your timing when you're creating the timetable for the wedding day. Because you know what, creating bridal hairstyles is really, it's not stressful at all, providing you've got the time and you know how to create lovely bridal hairstyles and how to secure the hair properly, do the hair prep, secure the hair properly. And we have an online bridal hair course, as well as our YouTube tutorials. And the online bridal hair course takes you step by step, close up and in detail, showing you how to create fabulous bridal hairstyles for all different hair types. So have a look in the info. Have a look at our little link in the info box. That's it. Making sure you're happy with these sections. You know what, you can make your style a little bit more piecey as you go along. So take your time. You can pull it out a little bit more, make it a little bit looser. Decide which bits of hair you want to have down. Like these bits of hair definitely need recurling. I'll just pop my tongs on ready. That's it. And then here at the back, we've kept our curl, just the kind of little bits of flyaway hair here from the ends of these bits that we've twisted. So you could smooth those out at this stage. You could recurl if you found that your curl isn't quite strong enough, but I certainly don't need to do that on this lady because the curl is quite strong. She's just got a little bit of, the hair's a little bit dry on the ends. And really, if you're working with a client who has kind of dry hair, then these kind of smoothing products, either the wax, a little bit of padding here, we've worked with padding before, so either the wax or some, you know, either your spray wax or your kind of something like this Stronghold cream, which is a Goldwell Super Ego Structure Cream, which is what I've been using today. You can use that just to smooth down any flyaway bits of hair, any dry bits of hair. You know, if she's got maybe split ends, then that structure cream is fabulous for doing exactly that. Okay, using my strong hairpins, my up and over technique. Again, you'll find all these techniques shown kind of close up and in detail on our online bridal hair course. And then all we need to do literally is cover, keep the curls and cover the padding with these fabulous strong curls that we've got. And it's that easy. So just follow the direction of the curl. And you can loosen them a little bit. I'm just using bobby pins here. So I'm going to do the bottom bits first. So you could twist and you can pull out these curls a little bit if you want to. Make sure they're smooth though, because the one thing about this style, if the hair is flyaway, it's very hard to come back and to kind of work out which direction the flyaway hairs need to be smoothed down in. So it's probably better to smooth it as you secure each section. And you can, as I mentioned, you can always recurl any little bits of hair if you find your curl isn't strong enough. But if you've used your Infineon hairspray, and you maybe put a little bit of wax on there first of all, you should find that this curl is lovely and kind of strong and gorgeous, and it won't fall out. So I like the way that this curl here is just going along there. So you can see I'm kind of going with the flow of the curl. So we're almost getting a lovely kind of textured look to this style, but we haven't crimped the hair. So you can still get these gorgeous kind of textured looking styles. That's it. By actually working with hair that's been curled. Find out that's better, which way that curl wants to go. Now, if you want to, you can loosen this style. You know, you can pull little sections out to make it look much softer. But for this particular style, I think I'm going to keep it just as it is. So the curling will probably take you, the hair prep, depending on, you know, for a lady who's got maybe hair this length, which is just past her shoulders, you're probably looking at around, if it's particularly thick, it might take about 45 minutes. I would usually allow 45 minutes for the hair prep and then 45 minutes for the style. Let's just lift this in, have a little play, decide where you want these curls to sit in the style, and you can just use a bobby pin going into all that lovely padding that we've got under here. That needs lifting up a little bit. What I might do is just prop that up just for a minute with a hairpin, just till I decide exactly where I want it to go. But it's looking gorgeous. And it's the help of that padding. The padding really makes all the difference. Following this curl, it wants to go over here, I feel. So I'm just going to let it and secure it there. And then we've actually finished this gorgeous style. So I'm using a bobby pin and just where the curl, the back of the curl, as the curl comes around, where it sits flat on the head, that is where, sorry, I don't want to put my head in front of this thing so you can't see what I'm doing, but I'll just need to just for a second. That's it. So where the curl sits flat on the back of the head, that's where the bobby pin goes. And then you can continue with that curl, bring it over. You could, if you find it helps, you could, until you know you're absolutely sure where you want it to sit, you can just use a little hairpin to help you prop it in place. I'm working with a mirror here, just off camera, so I can see what I'm doing. And you know, usually, if you've seen my videos before, sometimes when I'm creating these styles on camera and I'm standing to one side, they can kind of end up a little bit lopsided. And you can see with this style, it's happened again today. Let me go in now and push these little hairpins in, but now I know where I want everything to stay. Make sure it's all nice and secure. But when you're creating your styles, just make sure, let's pop that in, that's it, that you're standing in the right position at the back of your client. And don't be kind of, you know, don't be afraid to kind of move around and make sure you can see from different angles. And sometimes, you know, your client, she can only see it from the front. So she might keep saying, you know, I want more height, more height. And you might, from the side, sometimes you can tell there's already plenty of height. And actually it's about getting the whole proportions of the style correct. So if she's worrying about that, maybe show her take a few pictures of the style, show her how it looks from the side so she can see from a different angle rather than just looking at the front. So you don't just keep getting more and more height and risk losing these beautiful proportions at the back of the hair. I think we're almost there. I'm going to pop a few, secure that little bit in there. Remember, you've got that padding under there, which is perfect. And the style looks soft, relaxed, gorgeous, effortless. A couple of little hairpins, which again, I'm going to use. I'm going to push them in and go behind all that lovely padding that we've got there. And you can scatter these around. You can put them together. You can do the up and over if you feel you don't have enough security to anchor these in place. But I think that padding is just working perfectly here. We could go a little bit asymmetrical, or I think maybe we'll go here. Push that in so it's got that padding to go behind. Fabulous. And there we go. I haven't recurled these side sections actually, but that is something that I will do next. And we've got our lovely style that looks like it's all textured, but it's actually, remember, it's each of those curls that I've just used and pinned in place. And you can go through and re-loosen and create a kind of even bigger, more textured bun if that's what your client wants. So I hope you've enjoyed tonight's tutorial for this lovely curled textured bun. If you have any questions, please, you can pop a comment in the, you can put your message in the comment box, or you can, my online students can of course get in touch with me via our online student forum. And I look forward to hearing from you. I hope you've had a great week, a busy week with brides. And I think this wedding season is going to be extended way into the autumn this year because there's so many people getting married this year. So good luck with your hairstyling. Just let me know if you've got any styles you'd particularly like to learn, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.